Hey folks, Harley Day Rider back at you once again. Your good old friend HDR out here with the lovely 2018 Road Glide Ultra. Today we're riding here. It is winter time, but I mean, we got a really nice, gorgeous day today. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about winter riding and things to think about, and things that I worry about as I ride this motorcycle in the winter time, because not a lot of you do, and if you do, I mean, fantastic. And not every place is just like the roads and everything here in Pennsylvania, but we're going to talk about our roads in particular. So, all right, now we're going to go ahead and get on the road and get moving out here. Let's fire the old bike back up. Get her running here again. Turn the radio off. And a lot of you have been watching me for years. You know that I ride in the winter time. I mean, when I can. You know, I mean, I think the one big thing is the roads, and we're going to talk about that. So that's what I want to talk about today on this video. Sitting here at a school I used to work at some time ago, a couple years ago, anyway, probably about 3 years ago now. But you probably remember this parking lot. This parking lot is where I was doing my slow speed turning, my slow speed maneuvering that one day. Little turn practice. Let's get out of here. So, one thing you can see right there, in a parking lot like this, especially at the school district, shopping plaza or anything, they're gonna have a lot more salt because they got to keep people safe, right? You got to be really vigilant at keeping people safe. So that's why they tend to have a lot more salt. We're gonna stop here and put this shield down. So anyway, so the first thing we're going to talk about on road conditions in the winter time that you got to watch out for, and I don't know how this camera's going to pick us up, but if you look right in the middle of the lane and on the far edge you're not going to ride on anyway. That's kind of where I like to ride, is on the left close to the yellow line. And most reasons I do that is, we know, so people in front of us can see us, right, in the rearview mirror. That's a good place to ride. But this is not so much a riding learning video. I don't do those. But what I am going to tell you about is our road conditions and how I worry about winter roads. The one thing I worry about, make sure this camera is, yeah, it is recording. The one thing I worry about, oh crap there, oh, better stop, is stuff on the road, like right there at that intersection. We see a lot of stuff at this intersection right here. So you got to be careful of the intersections. Because what happens is, as the cars move up and down the roads and the wind blows, it kind of blows it to one place. So if you always understand when you're coming to an intersection to slow down, be very careful. Don't just like whip it in there, because you could hit some loose gravel, loose sand, or maybe even some salt, and take the bike down. So here, I normally also ride in the wintertime. I try to stick to the main roads where I know there's been a lot of traffic. I don't search out those back roads in the wintertime because the townships around here in Pennsylvania, it's called a township, a borough, or whatever you might have around your house, They tend, on the back roads, since there's not a lot of traffic, to throw a lot of salt and cinders and sand down. Well, since there's not a lot of cars out, what happens is it doesn't get blown around a whole lot on them back roads. So I try to stick to the main roads for that reason, because on the main roads there's a lot more traffic, and whatever is thrown out during the winter time is usually blown around pretty well in a couple of days, and it blows it to the center, stay out of the center, and it blows it to that far side berm, which you're not going to ride on the berm anyway. So that's some really key points with winter riding. The next part I'll let you know that I worry about in winter riding is potholes. Even if we don't have a lot of salt, we've had a lot of freezing conditions. I mean, it's been like, there's some mornings here where it's been like 9 degrees. So I know the roads have been freezing and thawing out and freezing and thawing out. Well, that takes a toll on it, and that's what creates all the potholes in the asphalt. So you got to be very vigilant, and you really got to keep a sharp eye out. And sometimes you miss. I mean, I've hit pretty good-sized potholes before on a bike, and it really upsets you. But it's going to happen. So you have to be very vigilant and try to do your very best. Something I learned about 3 years ago: don't follow too closely behind anybody, especially bigger trucks, because you can't stay vigilant, look for potholes if the truck is over them. And the one day I was a little bit close, and I went right into the pothole. So it really was not a great. I mean, luckily I didn't blow a tire, I didn't blow a shock or anything, so I was all right. Or the bike didn't go down, so that's even a better plus. The last thing I can tell you about winter riding, a lot of you yell at me out there. I get a lot of hate emails, believe it or not, because you're riding that nice brand new bike out there, and all that salt's going to get all over it. Oh my God, what are you, stupid or something? Well, yeah, no, I'm not stupid. But I can tell you, be also vigilant with that. I mean, if there's salt on the road, if the roads are a little wet, yeah, you're getting some spray up on the bike, and you'll see it in a couple days. It'll actually turn like a brownish white color. It's really weird looking. But what you have to do is, when you're done riding, I would suggest to, wipe the bike off with some F11 or something. You can wipe it down, or any kind of solvent or cleaner, or stop and hose the bike off. In the wintertime, it's not bad to just stop at a car wash somewhere and hose the bike off. Can't hurt it. Folks, they're made for rain. I've ridden motorcycles in a lot of rain, and you're not going to hurt the motorcycle. I try not to directly hose down the dash or anything. I don't want no high pressure on the dash, but other than that, it's a motorcycle. It's made to get wet. So yeah, hose the thing off, get the salt off of it, take it back to your garage, or and keep it wiped down really nice, and it should stay pretty for you. But I told you in a previous video, the one reason I do really enjoy riding in the winter is to just give the bike a chance to run a little bit. I mean, I hate to see them sit all winter long. I know it's a machine, it doesn't have fillings, I get that, but on the mechanical side of things, I like to get it to run every now and then, if you can. I mean, if it snows, you got 12 inches of ice, leave the bikes in the garage, cover them up, and go about your day. But just some stuff to think about for winter riding, especially here in southwestern Pennsylvania. I know my buddy Mike Killy 7 rides all winter long, and in North Carolina, and they don't get like snow and ice. My brother-in-law lived in South Carolina for, I don't know, 8 years. And I believe 1 year they had a dusting of snow enough where he actually got a snow shovel out and shoveled off the sidewalk. So that was 1 year out of 8. But they don't use stuff like that. They don't put stuff on the roads. So Mike has it a lot better. It still gets cold there though. I see the man, he has a high tolerance for low temperatures, I tell you that. That's for sure. But Mike, we love you, man, I tell you. I love to watch you ride out there. You're like, yeah, it's 21 degrees, and I'm taking the motorcycle to work. I love to see that, man. Great motorcycle rider, and he loves his motorcycle, that's for sure. Alright, so that's all of the tips I can think about for winter riding. Actual with road conditions and stuff you got to think about. I would also, I guess, I don't think it's the salt and stuff. Look, that's all iced over. Woohoo! I wouldn't think that it's the salt and stuff. I'm sure that doesn't do much good for the roads. But I would think even in other parts of the country where it gets cold and wet, the roads are going to freeze and thaw. So, I mean, you could have potholes. So, be vigilant, watch out for the potholes, and take care of your motorcycle. It's a beautiful time of year to ride here in the winter. Let's get out, take a little cruise every now and then. I shouldn't have actually came this way, but it's going so well, I thought I must just keep on riding. So that is what I'm doing. We've seen that house quite a few times. I love those metal roofs. I'm putting along here in fourth gear, just kind of motivating along, but another thing nice about winter riding is, as you know, go home and have a nice little shot of whiskey, warm the bones back up. Of course, I mean, I'm not the least bit cold. A lot of you out there buying the freeze-out gear, man, that's wonderful. You're going to love it. You're going to love this stuff. I mean, a little pricey, but if you take your bike out anytime it's below 40 degrees, even if it's below 50, turn it on. You're going to really know that you spent your money very wisely. I used to come out here with like 8 layers of clothing on. I don't do that anymore. Right now I got my hot wire liner and I got my leather jacket on, that's it. My hot wire gloves, but I don't need 18 layers of clothing anymore, that's for sure. Man, a slice of pizza sounds really good right now. I am going home and cooking some wings. Mrs. HDR bought me a new, I'm not going to keep this vlog going too long, but she bought me a new Instapot for my birthday. And you don't know too many men that like that kind of stuff, but I really enjoy cooking. So she did buy that for me. I should have went back that way. Oh well, guess I got a long way home today. Alright everybody, thanks for watching the videos. I do appreciate that. Hopefully you'll comment down below. Tell your friends that ride motorcycles to come over and check out HDR's videos, because he's a crazy guy that rides around in the winter time. And it'll be something to keep him entertained anyway. Take care. We'll talk to you next time. Remember, ride your own ride. Be safe out there, huh? Harley Day rider will be down and out in a little snow-covered southwestern Pennsylvania. Bye-bye for now, everybody. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning.